minutes over the last couple of days, and I think this coming next week it's going to be like mid-20s.
Yeah, it
Like
hit.
I said yesterday, the temperature around here is disrespectful.
What's that?
Like I said yesterday, the temperature around here is disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
Almost 30.
Yeah.
It's not too bad depending on the humidity.
Gross.
That depends. That all depends on the humidity, I find.
It's bad. It's gross. That shouldn't be a thing in May. In early May. We're not even at the middle of the month yet.
No, it shouldn't be mid-20s in southern Ontario, but welcome to life with global warming.
Somebody should have done something about that, I say. Oh,
right?
If they only knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Yep. If somebody had warned them or something.
Damn it. If we only knew.
So surprising.
Alrighty, so we'll welcome everybody to our session 0 or 0.5, depending on how far we get, of Forbidden Lands. For anybody who might be watching who's familiar with Forbidden Lands, we are specifically not using the Ravenland setting. It's an absolutely phenomenal setting, but I am playing in a campaign in that, and I don't want to spoil it for myself. So we are...
I heard something about rocks fall and everybody dies? No.
Yeah. So we are going to be doing a take on the classic D&D adventure Isle of Dread. It matches up well. Isle of Dread was like the first real exploration game that D&D did, and Forbidden Lands is big on exploration. So we'll see how it goes. The first thing we'll do is we'll get people to make characters. So under the Actor tab on Foundry, everybody should have a character sheet that they can access.
Indeed.
I'm not super familiar with Foundry. Can you direct us?
Yeah, it should be, the icon looks like kind of 3 hooded figures.
Oh.
Third from the left.
Actors Directory. Yep. Okay.
Perfect.
And I see my name.
And I see my name.
All right. Character creation is a couple of options. When you're looking at your sheet, we'll just kind of run through the sheet very, very quickly. Name. Kin is your race or your species in D&D terms. Age is how old you are. Reputation is if people have heard of you or not. As your reputation grows, there are chances that people who you've never encountered have heard of you, and that will give you bonuses or penalties on social interactions. Profession is your class. Experience, it is an experience point advancement system. Willpower. Willpower is super important. You get it by suffering damage when you push rolls. So when you push yourself to the breaking point, you gain willpower. You spend willpower to activate profession talents and your kin talent. And each kin and each profession has their own individual talents as well as a list of general talents. If you're familiar with D&D or Pathfinder, think of talents as your feats. And each of them have a rank 1 ability, rank 2 ability, and rank 3 ability. There are no prerequisites. Like, you have to buy them in order, but you don't need to have like a maxed out melee skill to get Swordsman level 3. As long as you have the XP and can learn the talent, then you can have the talent. Like my character in the game I play, despite his amazing marksmanship, only has a marksmanship skill of 1, but he has about 14 talents related to the bow. On your main sheet, there are 4 attributes. And then each of those attributes has 4 skills. When you go to roll something, if you just click on if you mouse over, you'll see that the skills or the attributes will highlight. And you can just click on it, it will automatically roll for you. Obviously, it won't roll anything now because we haven't put any points into it yet. Oh, there you go. Conditions. Sleepy, thirsty, hungry, cold. If you suffer any of those things, they will have effects. Across the bar at the cross, when you go to combat, this is where your weapons, your armor, and any critical injuries you might have will show up. The items down at the bottom: unarmed strike, shove, disarm, grapple, break free, grapple attack, dodge, and retreat. You can click on those as well, so you don't have to worry about like, what skill do I roll if I want to shove somebody? Just click the shove button. The folks that put together the system really did an excellent job.
It's a nice looking page.
The next one, talents. As you pick up talents, they will be listed here. Same with spells. And again, when you have spells, you just have to click on it, and it will ask you how much willpower you want to spend, and it will roll for you. The next tab is gear. Again, self-explanatory. The consumables down at the bottom: food, water, arrows or bolts, and torches. They are rated by dice types, from a D6 to a D12. Whenever you use that consumable, you click it, it will roll the appropriate die type. On a 1 or a 2, it will drop by a die type. So there's randomness as to when you run out of things.
Oh, nice. It's built right in.
It is. If something happens, like say, okay, so
Cool.
in that case, like if you had a D12 food, you would drop down to a D10 food.
And it does it by itself.
It does.
Nice.
If you run into a situation where, like, say, because Anita has bad dice luck, so say Anita runs out of water. But say Yorick has a D10 water. He can downgrade his one die by one die type to increase somebody else's by one die type.
Oh, okay.
So for example, if you have a D8 food, you could drop that to a D6 and bring somebody up to a D6 food. Bio. This is where you can describe your character, write down your pride and your dark secret, both of which have game effects. And the note page is where you can make any notes. And interesting, when they coded the system, is they use the same font. So when you type things into your bio, into your notes, the font will shift to match the rest of the character sheet, so it looks nice.
They did a really nice job on this.
They did. And then when Free released it, they had like a huge Foundry sale. So I picked up this and the Raven's Purge campaign and the Bitter Reach campaign and the Alien Core game, all for like $20 Canadian. That sale's not on anymore, but it was great. Across the very top, there is an option to pop out your character sheet if you choose. And then there is a rest button. Resting is how you heal. If I ask you to make a random roll of some sort, there is a roll button at the top of the character sheet. And it'll just ask you like how many dice, how many skill dice, how many gear dice, so on and so forth. The little leaf thing is actually a character generator built in. So you have an option, if you want to make a random character, you can just click the leaf, click randomize all, click apply, and it does the character sheet for you.
The leaf.
Crazy.
Yep, right at the very top of your character sheet. You should see one that says there's a leaf, and when you mouse over it says character.
Looking the right.
If you don't want to do random character, and I like the random character generator. It's actually pretty solid, but it's also fun to actually build your character. Which is what we will do. The first thing to decide is which kin you would like to be. There are 7. You can be human. Humans are the most predominant kin. And in the core setting, there are different varieties of humans, but they all have the same bonuses. The human kin talent is called adaptable. And it means they can spend a willpower whenever I'm like, make X skill roll. Humans can spend a willpower to say, I'm going to roll this instead, as long as it makes sense. Half-elves. Half-elves are renowned for their magical ability. Whenever they spend willpower to cast a spell, they get basically free willpower to put towards that spell.
That's good.
It definitely comes in handy if you want to make a spellcaster. Dwarves. Dwarves' kin talent is they can push a strength-related roll multiple times by spending willpower. So it makes them much stronger and more resilient and better fighters than you would otherwise suspect. Halflings. Halflings are short folks. I gotta remember what their kin talent is. I don't think we have a halfling in our game.
I think Mark's going halfling.
Yep.
Halfling.
Yeah, but in his Sunday night game.
Oh, in
Yeah.
the yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Their kin talent is called hard to catch. So you can spend willpower points in combat to avoid being hit by a physical attack. So spending one willpower cancels one success somebody gets on a physical attack. Doesn't matter if it's a melee attack or a ranged attack. Wolfkin. Wolfkins are like 7.5, 8 foot tall humanoid wolves. Their kin talent is Hunter's Instinct, which once they catch a scent or see somebody, they can spend willpower to track them. They can track them for a number of days equal to the willpower they spend. They also get a bonus on attack rolls against their chosen target. Orcs. Orcs are what you expect. Orcs are big and strong. Their kin talent, can't remember the name of it, but when they're broken by damage, they take the critical as normal, and then they can spend willpower to automatically heal up a number of points equal to the willpower they spend. So they can keep going as long as the critical doesn't kill them. And then goblins. Goblins are they're like kind of a dark mirror to halflings. They are the only kin in the entire game that have dark vision. Dark vision is not a thing. They also get they see in night, they hate daylight, which hurts their eyes. See in the dark, not affected by any darkness penalties whatsoever. And when rolling stealth in a dark or dimly lit environment, they can spend willpower points that automatically become extra successes. And they can spend the willpower after they've made the roll.
That's handy.
So they are sneaky gits. And I think in the Discord, I think most people had kind of decided on what kin they wanted to be.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, you didn't go over elves though.
Oh, elves. I forgot elves. Elves. Elves are essentially immortal. Elves in the Forbidden Lands setting, when they die, their life essence goes into a ruby that is inside them. Their flesh is wrapped around this ruby, and as long as the other elves can locate the ruby, the elf can be reborn. And their kin talent is called Inner Peace. By spending a willpower point, they enter a state of deep meditation, which lasts for a quarter of a day. When they emerge, they heal all damage to all attributes as well as any critical injuries.
Ooh.
I mean, unless the critical injury kills them, in which case they, drop into a ruby and have to be found. But if an elf gets their arm chopped off, half a quarter day meditating, and it grows back.
Creepy.
There are times in the other game when I would have liked that, like after I had fingers missing and stuff.
Yeah, hard to shoot a bow without fingers.
I adapted. The thing with criticals is criticals will have an effect. Like it might say like you move as a slow action instead of a fast action, or you can't use two-handed weapons, which includes bows. And for some of them, there's a time period after which the injury is healed enough that you no longer suffer the penalty. In my case, I think it was 13 days as an archer not being able to fire a bow.
So it's one of these hug and kisses type games.
Yeah, it is. Critical injuries. Critical injuries
Very
can be
gentle
quite
and
bad.
kind.
But yes, if everybody has an idea as to what kin they want, they can fill that in on their character sheet.
I apparently missed human. Humans have what? Nothing, I'm guessing.
No, humans have adaptable.
Oh.
Versatility.
Yep. Adaptable means whenever the game master asks you to make a skill roll, if you can justify it, you spend a willpower and roll the skill of your choice instead.
Oh, okay.
I think at one point in Mikhail's game, I rolled survival instead of heal. I've rolled... I think I rolled marksmanship instead of something else. Like, as long as you can justify it and spend a willpower, you can roll whatever skill you like.
That's really good.
Gonna name this one Reagan too.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Adaptable is super handy when you've suffered damage and are not as good at a skill as you would otherwise like to be.
Yep. Definitely human.
All right. And then you have to decide whether you're going to be young, adult, or old. Young characters get more attribute points, but less skills and talents. Adults get 1 less attribute point, but 2 more points of skills and an additional talent. Old people get 2 less attribute points, but 2 more skill points over an adult and 3 talents total.
And there was something you couldn't buy more of later on. Which is that?
Attributes. Your attributes you cannot buy attributes with XP.
So that's the trade-off with age, is that if you're young, you get less starting stuff, but you get more attributes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Damn it. Hmm.
There's no real place to put like your age, is there, on one of you, or you just
Yep.
go by your
First page. Yep.
name?
Right at the top.
Oh,
Right
okay,
under.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, right, yeah, I see.
Oh.
Are ages the same for all races? Which means since I'm a goblin, and I want to be old, would I just write in like 72 or something?
No, there's actually a chart.
Yep.
Goblins are old from 61 and up.
Yep.
Oh,
There,
be in the game book then. Let me pop that open.
I clicked on the leaf and I'm filling it there. Is that the way to do it? Or
That should work for you.
okay.
I want to be adult.
It's tempting to be young. How young is young for a human?
16 to 25.
Oh, well, hell yeah. Okay, young is good.
Uh,
I need it.
if anybody wishes to play an elf, elves have no age.
Yeah, they're all adults, I think.
They are all adults.
Because they live forever.
The other thing you should decide, because it will affect what you can put points into, is your profession.
And that's what character archetype type thing you are?
Yes, that's basically your character class.
Yeah, I'm a fighter.
Okay. So, anybody who is young has 15 attribute points. Anybody who is an adult has 14, and anybody who is old has 13.
And the leaf thing I cannot change.
What's the general range? What's average? What's above average?
They go from 2 to 6.
Okay.
And then, what is it, 4, and then your profession and your kin gives you the ability to go higher or something?
Yes. Yeah, the character generator, York, I don't think you can change the stats.
So I need to put the stat in
Yeah.
the other sheet.
Yeah, so you may have to just use the base sheet to do things. So when you're assigning your attribute points, you have to put at least 2 into each of the 4. And then nothing higher than a 4. Each profession and each kin has a key attribute. You can put 5 into that, and if they are the same, you can put 6. You don't get any extra points, but they can go higher. I'll kind of quickly here. Is anybody making a dwarf? Okay. Elf?
I'm making an elf.
Okay. So your key attribute is agility.
So that can go up to 5.
Yep.
And then I'm going sorcerer, which I believe is wits.
Yep. So your wits could go to 5 as well.
Okay.
Trevor, since you're a goblin, agility is your.
Yep, so that goes up to 5, or can go up to 5 if I choose so, and empathy for the profession.
Perfect. Mark, as a halfling, empathy is your key attribute.
Yeah, and empathy is mine as a minstrel too, so that can go to 6, I guess.
Exactly. Perfect.
But they all start at 0. Well, they start at 0, but you have to have a minimum of 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Anita, humans have empathy as their key, and fighters have strength.
Okay.
And Yorick, Wolfkins have agility, and druids have wits.
So just so we're all kind of working together here, I'm aiming towards agility as my main, and with a little bit of strength, I guess.
That was the
5'4".
question I was going to ask you, if you were going agility or wits. If you're going agility, I'm going to go wits.
Yeah, I'm pretty much dumping wits.
Now, speaking of dump stats, if you take damage And damage comes off of your attributes.
So which on the character sheet itself, which is first? Because it's number/number.
Currently they would be the same.
Yes. Okay. Which one are we going to be able? Which one are we going to be changing later?
Well, you'll notice once you fill them in, you'll actually get dots beside the attributes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And if you
Oh, you
change
could
the
just
first
hit the
one,
dot. Nice.
it put
Yep.
X's. If you change the first one, like if my strength is 4 and I put a 3, I get a X in one of the dots.
Yep.
So the one we lower is the first one.
They did a really good job at this.
Yeah, they did a great job of it, and the all of the Free League, the system developers are really active in the Foundry Free League Discord channel. So if you ever notice an issue or anything, you're just like, hey, there's this, and they're like, okay, well, we'll look at that for the next release.
Yeah, we did Twilight 2K on this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, guys, we've all talked about our concepts on Discord for the viewers. But for my guy, I'm thinking 4-5-3-2.
Go in 4-4-5-2. Guys,
Lord, you people.
Hmm?
I said, "Good Lord, you people." Chris, what would I find? Where would I find information about what stats are typically used for fighting? Like, I know it's going to be strength and agility, obviously.
Yep. Yep. So right underneath the stats, you'll see your skills. So like melee is strength, marksmanship is agility.
Okay, gotcha.
Currently leaning towards strength and agility 2 each, wits 4, and empathy 6.
Ooh.
well, you have the option to put it at 6, so I totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna take lots of animal handling, but I wanted the character to be really good with animals and terrible with people. That's why I'm taking like low empathy and
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, every party needs a face, right?
That's true. I'm going to be a horrible face, but
our main
Yes.
apparently.
You're going to be a great face. You're just going to happen to be a dick.
that's right. That's right.
You're just going to be good at it.
So I'm going 5-4-3-3.
I'm going 2-2-5-4.
That covers everything, no?
Can you
Is
pick
everybody
yourself up when you
young?
fall down?
I'm a
Everybody young
70-year-old
except me?
golem or a goblin. I ain't falling far.
All right, I was going to
Good
say, am I
thing.
the only adult and everyone else is young?
The also an adult.
Okay. Yeah, I was debating between adult and old, but I said, nah, I'll be adult on the cusp of old maybe in a few years.
yeah, and I believe the goblin is old too. So
The goblin is 72.
And the elf must
It's a
be
good
an
thing you're
adult
tiny,
because
so
all
you don't have
elves
to
are adults. I
dig
guess.
much of a grave.
He's playing Yoda.
I made a 16-year-old yesterday. I might as well make a 72-year-old today.
Why not?
It's
All right.
swingy.
okay. Starting skills. Those of you who are young get 8 skill points. Those of you who are adults get 10. And those of you who are old get 12. You can assign up to 3 points to your profession skills and a single point to other skills.
Oh,
Healing, is that healing yourself or healing someone else under empathy?
Heal is usually used to get other people back up and on their feet and to staunch their bleeding and that sort of thing. You can use it on yourself, but it's harder.
so just to clarify, Chris, you can go 3 on your skills that are based on your profession,
Yep,
but only 1 on things outside of your profession.
correct.
Oh, that's much different.
I get healing as a profession skill?
I think the maximum in animal handling
So bad.
and survival, I guess, would be necessary for the team, keeping people alive.
Survival is good. Scouting is good. Crafting is going to be handy in a survival based game.
What's move used for? Is that like used for dodging or is that used for travel as well?
It is used for dodging. Absolutely. It is occasionally used for travel. Like if you, it's used when you need to swim or navigate difficult terrain or climb anything or any of that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Is anybody investing in craft?
I'm going craft for sure.
What's insight?
Insight is used for determining whether or not somebody is lying or manipulating you.
Okay.
But Yurick, there's lots of craft talent, so
Yeah, I plan to build up to take some craft talent, but if at least someone has craft in the team, because if I take 2 skill at 3 since I'm young, I only have 2 1 point to place. So I was thinking 1 point in lore since I know you're not taking it, and 1 point in melee, so I can defend myself a little bit.
I'm going to take 1. Chris suggested that I wouldn't know what my spell components would be, so or ingredients, I think they were.
Yeah, that would probably come under lore, actually.
Yeah. So I'm going to take 1 in lore and then crafting, but I don't think any of my other profession ones make any sense.
And Mark, just so you're aware, insight, it's like if somebody is trying to manipulate you, not only are you have a chance of being aware of it, but you actually roll insight in an opposed check against it.
I'm maxing out insight and manipulation.
And if you observe an NPC for a few minutes, you can also make an insight roll to kind of gauge their state of mind, what emotion they are feeling strongest.
Cool. Right now, I'm trying to decide. I'm thinking manipulation, performance 3 each, insight 3, and survival 1. Unless I drop a couple of those 2 and go for, like, I don't know, sleight of hand or a dot of healing. Is healing mundane?
Yes, the only magical healing is one of the druid spell paths.
Okay.
Healing would be good.
Question about might and melee.
Yep.
Might would be used for. I know what melee is going to be used for, but might would be used for unarmed
I think it's
or
for things and doing
just
athletic things.
feats of strength.
Yeah, feats of strength.
Okay.
And then there's a talent you can get because our fighter has it in the game we play that allows you to roll strength instead of empathy when you're trying to manipulate somebody by threatening them.
I saw that talent. Actually, it works really good for this guy.
So right now I'm going might 1, endurance 2, melee 2, move 1, marksmanship 1, and survival 1.
All right. The strength category, I'm taking nothing. The agility category, I'm taking 1 on everything except for move because I'm 72. For wits, I'm putting 1 in everything except for insight. I'm taking that at 3. And empathy, I am taking nothing but manipulation. I'm also taking that at 3. Somebody please take healing.
I'm going to take at least 1 healing. Right now, I'm debating manipulation or performance 3. I'm thinking manipulation 3, performance 2, healing 1. I like insight, so insight and a dot of survival or a point of survival.
Perfect. An important thing with manipulation is while it's not mind control, if you roll well enough, and there's modifiers based off like your reputation and whether or not you've got more people on your side and how dangerous it is for the other person. But if you succeed in the manipulation roll, the person will they'll do what you ask, but they can ask for something in return.
Yeah.
Or they can attack. They don't have an option. They don't have an option to say like, well, no, you can't. They don't really have an option to say no. They do have an option to say like, I'll do that, but you need to do this for me, or they have an option to attack you, which probably fits your character concept pretty well, actually.
Mine, yeah.
It's like, what did that little halfling say to me?
I didn't say anything. What are you talking about? Who threw that pie? Do I look like I would throw a pie? Sure. Look at me.
You definitely eat it first.
Exactly.
So I think for me, I'm going with under strength, endurance 1, crafting 3. Under wits, I'm taking lore 2. All of agility at 1 and nothing in empathy. The profession-based limitation kind of skewed up what I was aiming for, but this will work. This will work fine.
Great.
Did anybody take high empathy?
I took a 3, I believe.
Yeah, I'm a 6 empathy because I got empathy for both my kin and profession,
Okay.
so I'm actually a 6.
So just making sure that somebody in our party.
So you're doing the wits thing, are you?
Who?
Yorick.
I have 5 wits, yeah.
Okay.
5 wits, 3 survival, 1 lore.
0 strength, 3 agility, 6 wits, and 3 empathy.
Okay, we're spreading out pretty well.
Wait, 0 strength? I thought you had to have a minimum of 2.
Oh, in the category of skills, sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything in the strength one. So I think I might lower my insight to 2, and I'm debating if I want to take sleight of hand, just pawn stuff.
And at least skills you can pick up during game too. So
Yeah. Is there a multiplier in terms of like improving existing skills? Like it costs this much based on your current?
it does. It costs 5 times the level you're going to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it makes sense to get them higher.
Makes sense to buy what you want now at high levels.
Yep.
All right, so then I'm going to go back to Insight 3.
Yeah. And there's like there's so many, so many options that I've had a really hard time trying to find a chance when I have 10 XP spare to buy a skill up to level 2. And that's after 37 sessions.
In that case, I'll take 1 out of the marksmanship and put it in might.
Yeah. And it's not a matter of like, oh, I've got this XP and I don't know what to spend it on. It's that there's so many things that I want that I just always find something that's a little bit better than buying a skill up to 2.
It's kind of like Conan, right?
Yeah.
Are you penalized if you have no dots in something for doing skill rolls?
No.
Okay.
The disadvantage comes like if you're trying something that is harder and would bonuses and penalties are extra dice that you either roll or dice taken out of your pool.
Okay.
If the penalties would remove all of your skill dice, and there are penalties left over, then you get negative dice, which will cancel out successes that you may roll. So if you don't have a skill and you take a penalty, then you're going to automatically have negative dice. It doesn't come up very often.
So is this like White Wolf Tabletop, where you normally would be rolling fistfuls of dice?
Yes.
Okay.
So everybody has their skills.
I do.
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. Talents. So in theory, on the Foundry HUD, the next one after actors looks like a little satchel. That should be items.
It's currently empty.
Okay.
Items directory.
That is unfortunate. That means I'm going to have to set permissions.
Yeah, it's empty. It says search items.
Core game has shown up. Critical injury. Okay, they're coming. See how many critical injuries there are?
Yep, there's a bunch.
Drunkard is a critical injury.
Perfect. There you go. So now you guys should have access to the talent folder under items.
Correct.
Yep.
And there should be general talents, kin talents, and profession talents.
All right, where is this? Under talents?
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So everybody gets you get your kin talent automatically, so you should be able to just drag it to your character sheet.
Which? Oh, that was adaptable or something.
Yep.
You can drag it?
Yep. In brackets, it's got which kin they apply to.
We can drag it?
Yep. Just drag it onto your character sheet. It should drop it.
It did.
Yep.
Just anywhere?
On the talent tab.
Oh. Shoot, it just logged me out for some reason. It said reload app. Oh, well, all right, I'm going to refresh and see what happens.
Okay, perfect.
Come on, dinosaur laptop. You're not that old. I don't know who you are, but...
Which path are you taking here?
I'm thinking the path of healing.
Oh, you're going healer.
I wanted to go with the shapeshifter, but because I wanted to have bonus to tame animals and stuff like that. But the spell to tame animal is very, very temporary. So I figured I would go in the healer path and to be able to heal the beast I tame. That seems close enough.
Or Yoda, right? Healing Yoda seems important.
Well, the character doesn't have the healing skill, so he's gonna be like the trauma surgeon more than the field medic, let's say. So if you lose a finger, you can do something about it. If you just got slapped in the face, well, your problem.
Walk it off.
So we automatically get the kin one.
Yep. You automatically get a profession talent of your choice. So
Automatically get a profession. That's one of the three on the here. So for me, it's like Path of the Hymn, Path of the Song, Path of the War Cry.
correct.
And I get one of those.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know what they are, though.
All right. So.
Yeah, I have a massive list here.
Oh, I can just click on them and it tells you.
Yep. So yeah, as a peddler, you get was it Path of
Turn.
Path
Okay.
of Gold? I think you get Path of Lies and Path of Many Things. I think are the peddler ones.
Page 60, Anita.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm going to take Path of the Song because that fits my code.
All right. Where's this path stuff? Under talents.
Starts on page 60.
Peddler's talents. Path of Gold. Okay.
So Path of Gold, rank 1. Whenever you're about to buy an item, you can spend a willpower point to automatically negotiate the price down. 1/5 for every willpower you spend, to a maximum of 4 willpowers. Rank 2, whenever you enter a room, spend a willpower to detect if there's anything valuable, and if so, where.
So I can only pick one of those, right? Out of the 3 options.
Yeah, so you get either Path of Gold, or Path of Lies, or Path of Many Things.
I'm taking Path of Many Things.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
In a survival game,
see
it's a really good one.
Path of Gold is not going to be so good in a survival game.
Now, something to bear in mind with your Path of Many Things is your knapsack, full of crap, counts as a heavy item, which means it takes the encumbrance of 2 regular items, and you can carry a number of regular items equal to double your strength. So, like, half of your encumbrance is this pack full of everything.
Okay, and my strength is 2.
Yep. So you can carry 4 regular items. Encumbrance in this game adds up quickly.
Chris, it said so. I picked my halfling one. I chose my my free one. I guess the one from my profession.
Yep.
It says for adults you generally get 2. Does that mean you get 2 more, or is it just those 2?
Yep. After everybody has gotten their profession, then we're going to do general talents.
Okay.
Yep.
So does both our kin and profession ones, do they both start at rank 1?
Yes. Your kin is only ever 1 talent. There's no ranks to it.
Oh, okay.
But all of the others, so Path of the Song, you have rank 1.
Okay.
So by spending willpower points and singing, you can draw the attention to everyone in near range to yourself for a few minutes. They stop what they're doing, and any scouting roll they make is modified negatively by the number of willpowers you spend.
Is there a way creation to have it at a higher rank, or no, it starts at 1?
When you get to your general talents, you can
Yep.
you can elect to use one of your general talents to raise
Okay.
your profession talent.
But only one, right?
Only 1. Okay. Now give me.
Unsurprisingly, for the players that are on Discord, but not necessarily the viewers, I am taking Path of Death for my sorcerer.
I'm taking Path of the Song. I think that would fit my concept the best.
I am taking the Path of Many Things.
Give me.
I don't know what I'm taking yet. It's okay, Chris. I found.
You found it? I was going to
Yep.
say I can just grab you the physical book if you need.
Blade, enemy, or shield?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a physical book. Parrying is done with.
Your melee skill.
Okay. And agility or strength?
strength. Melee is always strength.
Okay.
Yeah, in this game, your skill, unless you have a special talent that says otherwise, your skill is always that stat.
Okay.
Not sure where I put my actual physical book. Don't tell me I actually put it away.
What? Where did you find room?
Oh, no, here it is. Oh, yeah, if you
That's a hard choice, Anita.
I know, right?
If anybody ever actually picks up the physical, the books are really pretty.
Yeah, they are.
The art is great.
Yeah,
And
that
for
looks
playing
like
the game, I've been looking for the books. I really prefer to have them physical.
I got mine on. I got mine off Amazon.
I'm gonna check.
Yeah,
my
I
list
don't
info
think.
first.
I think I can discount Path of the Enemy. That doesn't sound like her. She's not that smart.
It sounds like whether you want to be offensive or defensive, right?
Yeah, and Path of the Enemy is really only good if we use the optional hidden combat maneuvers, which is a whole other tactical level to the game. It's fun, but there's some muckiness when you use it in Foundry. So you can just discount that one, and if we decide to use it, we'll worry about it then.
Yep, Path of the Shield.
Love Path of the Shield. Mainly because Jess uses it all the time to save the rest of us.
So Anita's going Defender.
Yeah. An important thing with talents and stuff as well, like unless it explicitly says they don't, talents stack. So when you start getting the talents that give you more parry options, they stack with your Path of the Shield and stuff. So.
Cool.
All right. Then, once everybody has their kin talent and their first profession talent, you get additional general talents based off of your age. Young people get 1 general talent, adults get 2, and old characters get 3.
sweet.
You can forego 1 general talent to start the game with rank 2 in another. And that is only for general talents, not profession talents.
Oh, so you can't swap one of these to improve like Path of the Song to 2?
It does not look like it.
Okay.
Been a long time since I made my character.
Oh, I thought you could though.
You normally start the game with rank 1 in each talent, but you can choose to forego 1 general talent for starting the game with rank 2 in another. I'd say you could start with rank 2 in a profession talent. That's the way that reads to me.
Yeah, I think the example is talking about someone using it for second level magics.
Path of Blood 2. So yes, so you can raise your profession talents.
All right.
Really tempted to take Brawler.
You gonna punch someone in the face?
I like the headbutt.
Ah, right.
Who doesn't like headbutts?
Right?
So for me, I definitely want to take Path of Depth rank 2 because it costs a fortune to raise it.
Yeah, especially if you don't have anybody to instruct you.
And for my second one, I'm pretty open for the second one to fill in whatever gaps we have, but I'm thinking a craft skill. Because I happen to have decent craft.
All right, Chris, with one of these generals, can you take another one of your paths from your profession or no?
No, you can raise the profession talent you have to level 2, but you can't take a new one.
Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to spend one of these to increase my Path of the Song to 2.
It's a solid choice.
Did that work? Oh, it worked. And the other one I was trying to decide between Lucky and Sharp Tongue, and I'm liking, is it called Sharp Tongue? Yeah, Sharp Tongue.
Yeah, Shark Ton would be good for you because it allows you to do it allows you to insult people so much that they actually like lose their mind and
Take
you inflict
damage.
it. Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, I will take that.
Trevor, you might want to look into pack rat.
Yeah, I was looking at that, and I've already picked the other two. So, yeah,
What do you got?
I'll take that. Thank you.
Saying you had problem with your strength, but you wanted to have a lot of shit. Pack rat seemed like a good choice.
All right, got my 3.
So when you're looking at your talents, you'll notice that some of the talents at like the rank 3 ability will say like add an artifact die. Your general dice pool is d6s, and you need to get a 6 in order to succeed at what it is you're doing. Generally, you only need one success to accomplish whatever it is. An artifact die is a not d6. So like a d8, for example, will generate 2 successes if you roll an 8. So 1 success on a 6, 1 on a 7, 2 on an 8. A d10 artifact die, which is usually like fairly potent magic items, can, if I remember correctly, generate up to 3 successes. And a d12 artifact die can generate up to 4 off of the single die roll.
Right, there's a chart there that if you're over 6s, right?
Yeah. Thankfully, it's already coded into the system, so if you actually get to that point. But like in the game that we play, Jessa's character has a magical sword that the artifact die for the sword goes up based on how many opponents she's facing.
Oh, cool.
Because the sword likes bloodshed. It's so bad. It's
Sounds
like
familiar.
it's like Conan in that magic items always have a drawback. Like we have one that as long as you're wearing it, you heal, including critical wounds, just like the elf ability. But while you're wearing it, you can't sleep.
Oof. And if it's anything like Twilight 2000, sleeping's important.
Yes.
Tony, were you doing an elf or an half elf in the end?
I'm doing an elf.
Okay.
And like I say, I still have one talent that I'd like it to be crafting based, but I'm open to suggestions on if we want a builder, a bower, or a smith, or tanner, maybe.
Yeah. A builder's, you're probably not going to need a builder until you actually have a stronghold.
But everybody would want leather armor with a tanner, right?
Yep. It's by far the easiest armor to make.
I was thinking of going for builder in the long term, if that helps. But I'm not set on it. We can talk it out.
All right.
Right now, yeah, probably tanner could be good. I guess there's a cook one also that probably could be useful in the beginning.
Cook is a good one.
I'm being greedy, and I'm picking Lucky, Pack Rat, and Sixth Sense. Because I think this guy's a coward.
I'm trying to decide between Brawler, Melee Charge, Threatening, and Sword Fighter.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Threatening because she's got a manipulative 0. Like, it would literally be the only thing going for it. I like Brawler because I like the idea of her headbutting somebody.
When it comes to spending XP, in order to increase a talent, it's 3 XP times the level you're getting.
So the early ones are pretty cheap.
So yeah, and if you already have the talent, you don't have to do anything to get the next level. So if Trevor has pack rat of 1, he just needs to spend 6 XP and spend time resting to get level 2. If you're getting the first level of a talent you don't already have, somebody can instruct you. So, like with level 1 of pack rat, Trevor could teach the rest of you, because I just did this in our game. I taught our entire group how to pack their shit. Seriously, we got to the point where we had to like stop and like divvy up gear amongst people so that nobody was penalized. So yeah, so Trevor could say like, "Oh, Tony, I'm going to teach you pack rat," and then you just need to spend the 3 XP and spend a quarter day training. If it's a talent that you want to learn but nobody is there to teach you, you can try to learn it on your own. You spend a quarter day kind of going over things and practicing, and you make a wits roll. If you succeed, then you get the talent. If you fail, you don't get the talent, but the XP is not wasted.
It's not?
It is not.
So kind of
that's
like
good.
Twilight.
Yep.
What do you think, Yurik? You want to go chef? You want me to go chef, or you want me to go tanner? Do we want food or armor? I'm torn.
Are you gonna pick ranged weapon with your high agility?
Oh, absolutely, but
I'm just thinking of the hunter vibes. Not for the making of bows, just of synergistic in your like upbringing. Both Tanner and Cook could work with like living of the hunt.
Master of the Hunt, Survivor role, yeah. Hunt, well, I mean, I think we need a craft guy. I think we need to craft stuff.
Well, I want to take some eventually, but you'll be better than me for a long while. So I think we're probably gonna need both Chef and Tanner quite fast. But maybe go with Chef, because if we don't have food, we won't get to the point where we need armor.
Yeah, right. Food trumps armor. Then
But
We won't need armor if we've all starved to death.
Well, I
that's
mean,
true.
can we make food without Chef?
No.
okay, I'll take a chef.
No.
Yikes!
I mean, 3 XP for the first point is not that hard to get, I guess. I guess our early spending of XP will be getting a bunch of talent.
So, Chris, I have a gear question for you.
Sure.
Are we starting with a weapon of some nature?
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, man. Because if I'm not going to have a
Narrows it down to
sword,
yes or no.
if I'm
So
not going to have a sword, there's no point in me taking sword fighter.
you might want to take brawler.
But you have a head.
You can pick
I
up this
do have
rock.
a head.
You can pick up this rock, tie it to a stick, and have a crude or something.
Or just
Yeah.
take throwing arm. But she's not really a
So
thrower.
So my archer character, when I went the nearly 2 weeks without being able to fire a bow, I picked up a sling because the sling is one-handed, and then I picked up a throwing arm, and then I realized that I could just throw rocks, and we encountered some demons, and I damaged a demon with a rock. So bear in mind, 36 sessions down the road, throwing a rock was a viable option.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Anita, if your head is disarmed,
then the rest of it doesn't matter. That's
it
true.
doesn't matter, right? So that's always in play.
That is a very good point. I will take brawler.
Long term plan. I want to aim for like horseback fighter and spear fighter, if that helps any consideration.
Yeah, she's not going to touch a spear. I do want her to have a sword and shield at some point. Not so much a bow or a spear. Or a sling.
Okay. Yeah, your gear will be starting gear will be determined by your profession. So, odds are that fighters will start with weaponry of some sort.
Oh, you're actually giving us gear. That's very kind of you.
Yep.
Unlike Tony, who just, slapped us up on a pike in the middle of a desert and let us figure it out ourselves.
Nailed you to a cross. Figure it out.
Yeah.
You want some starting gear? Have a wound and a trauma. That should work.
Yeah, it's because gear in this game breaks really easily.
Ah, okay.
I think I've gone through at least 4 bows, and I keep getting Josh's character to like, I need you to fix this.
I mean, you've gone through a lot of stuff in Conan too.
And I've shot literally, I think, hundreds of arrows. All right, everybody has their talents chosen?
Yes.
Perfect. The next thing on the bio tab of your character sheet, there is something called Pride.
Yep.
So this is something. This is something specific that you are proud of. It can be an ability, an event in your past, something else. Your profession will give you a couple of suggestions, but you're allowed to make up your own. That's completely fine. Once per game session, you can activate your pride. When you fail a skill roll in a situation where your pride is relevant, Game Master's final say, but should give you benefit of the doubt. When you activate your pride, you get to roll an extra d12 and include that result in your die roll. If you fail to roll despite this, you have to remove your pride, play an entire session without a pride, and then generate a new one.
I was trying to think about this after work, but for Pride, Dark Secret, and relationships, and I was like, I don't know.
So you're like the professions give you examples.
Yeah, I have mine in front of me. I'm just looking at them to see if they inspire me.
Perfect. And it's always it's one of those things, like the first session or two, I'm free with people changing up a few things on their character as well. So if you have one that you're like, this might work, you just kind of jot it down. And if it turns out that you're like, it's not really the way I feel the character's going, we'll change it. That's not a big deal.
How is this like a rated PG, rated R game?
It's like rated R, but we are streaming.
Tony and I are here cursing.
Yeah, okay. I'm not worried about
Not
that.
a fucking question, is that?
I'm rolling dice, so automatically it's just between me and my dice. It's going to be R-rated because I'm going to be cursing at them when they try to kill me.
The reason is because I was thinking of saying this guy's pride was pimping ain't easy, but someone's got to do it, which means he's very good at talking people into short-term gain they're probably going to regret, and he's going to make a bandit from it.
As opposed to actually pimping.
That's just pimping as an example. I just like the term.
As opposed to actually pimping.
Oh, he's probably done that in the past too.
Yeah, that works. I mean, you might want to find phrasing so it's a little bit more open-ended. But definitely like something kind of like Silver-Tongued Devil sort of thing. He's leading people down the path of ruin eventually.
I was thinking for mine something along the lines of, I don't know how this would best be worded, like the confidence in himself to like no matter how sticky the situation, he finds a way. He finds a way, if not coming out smelling like a rose, at least, not being as badly messed up as, you'd think he would be.
It could be something as simple as like, I'll always live to see another day or something. Like, like
no
ideally,
matter how bad the situation, I always find a way. I always find a way.
yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah,
I always find a way to see tomorrow.
yeah,
That works.
yep, that works perfectly. Because ideally, you want your pride to be something that is going to come up in game. Because not only is it going to help you when you fail an important role, but when you activate your pride, you get 1 bonus XP as well.
Okay.
So, Chris, I've never played this game.
Yeah.
I'm thinking something along the lines of I will not be defined by my magic. Does that work? Or
You can. You might have to struggle a little bit to find out how it applies to help you like make a skill roll. Unless like if it's a skill roll that
it's not magical, right?
I could see it applying like if it's something where you could use your magic and you don't.
Which is kind of what I'm aiming for, right? So say
Yeah.
he's got a bunch of willpower that he could use for magic, and he's like, no, fuck it, I'm going to try to punch this guy in the head instead of crushing his heart.
Yeah. Yeah, that would work.
Okay.
And it's one of those things like when if you fail the skill roll anyway, despite rolling your pride, you have to choose a new one. In our game, I think I'm on my 4th pride.
So it evolves.
It evolves. Because at first it was like I'm a perfect guide. I never get lost, and then I badly failed some leading the way rolls.
Then you got lost.
Then I got lost. So then I was like, hey, I'm a really good archer. So then I had like my arrow never misses, and then I missed.
Lost some fingers.
And then I lost fingers. Yeah, it's been a rough go for poor Soren.
How about I don't take shit from assholes?
Yep, that works.
Excellent.
Now my goal is to sell you manure.
Perfect.
Well, as long as you're nice about it, it's fine. Just don't be an asshole and we're okay.
I'm a charmer.
See? I wouldn't have any reason to think you're an asshole, because I've got manipulation of absolutely nothing.
I just spent 3
But
gold
she's
on cow
Insight
shit.
in that case. In that case, it's more of a question of insight. How much insight do you have?
Now, Trevor, it's charmer I am. You got to get into the Yoda thing, right?
Ah, okay, I can do that.
You're like a 2 foot tall, wrinkled up little green thing.
All right. So once you have your pride, and you'll note on that there's a little dice, so you can just click it to roll it.
Oh, that's what I clicked.
Yep.
And what does that do?
So that's what will roll your pride.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Perfect. All right, your dark secret. So every character in Forbidden Lands has a story. Many of the colorful individuals have a checkered past. You've experienced something before the game starts that has left a mark on you or still threatens you in some way. Each of the professions gives some examples. Choose one of them or make up your own if you prefer. These are primarily story tools. But if your dark secret comes up in a way that causes you trouble, you get bonus XP. So the example here for the sample player Josie decides her character's dark secret is my yearning for more magical power is stronger than anything else. And it can be a simple sentence. It can be like a little bit more elaborate. My first character, before she died of a magical mishap, her dark secret was she was on the run from her original village because she poisoned her arranged marriage husband. And his well-to-do family was on the hunt for her. Soren's dark secret is the fact that he's a miserable son of a bitch who hates people.
How is that a secret?
Well, that's just it. It's not anymore. We've been playing for 30 sessions.
I could RP the hell out of that.
The reason why he hates people has only recently started coming up.
Oh, okay.
Because the reason he hates people is because when he was 12, his village had this ceremony where they send a chosen child up in the mountains to commune with the winds and bring back, good tidings and everything. And he went on his way to do his duty and got attacked by wild animals and didn't make it the pilgrimage and barely lived. And when he came back, his family and village said, like, why didn't you do the job you were sent for? And banished him from the village at the age of 12. So he hates people and he hates religion.
Again, be hard for me to RP that.
Yeah. It was
Be a big stretch.
the best. We were doing an adventure and we ran into these priests and these nuns who were also at this adventure site trying to find these relics. And the priest was one of these like, oh, my God will protect me. My God has shown me the way, sort of things. And every time there's anything even remotely dangerous and he didn't have the skills for it, I tried to roll manipulation to get him to do it on the basis of his faith. Including this priest with a strength of like maybe 1, maybe 2. I almost convinced him that his God would carry him across this 10-foot gap with a 4-story fall if he failed.
Leap of faith.
I was like, your God will protect you. Unfortunately, Soren has an empathy of 2 and no manipulation. But yes, it was fun. Never did get to kill him.
So, Dark Secret, I'm thinking, Chris, and you can tell me if this makes any sense at all. Doing a little bit of a warlock thing and saying, I am being influenced by something from the Outer Dark.
Yeah, that is a perfectly good Dark Secret.
Whether he knows it or not doesn't matter. He's just
Right.
How about, despite having many smuggling and kind of illegal dealings in his past days as a businessman, he's also made money being a snitch to the authorities.
Yeah, that'd be a good Dark Secret, given the fact that everybody on this island is a criminal.
snitches get stitches. And I'm not a criminal. Thank you very much. I was born this way. It's not my fault.
I was thinking of one of a couple. One I was thinking was either A, he had my guy had more than one tryst with the wife of like someone he worked for, which might be the reason he ended up sent to this island in the first place, or something about an actual, despite his profession and supposedly making people happy, he secretly has a huge contempt for people generally. So he uses this mocking to actually like get his own jollies and shit, like, try to turn it around kind of thing. I don't know if that works. Either of those.
Oh, so like actually that fits perfect for a halfling in the Forbidden Lands. The halflings of the Forbidden Lands are the sort, they're all jolly and they're having a good time at the pub, and then they go home and vomit in the flower garden and beat their kids. So
yeah, I read that.
God.
So yeah, that's a perfectly fitting halfling type of thing.
So you like roasting people, but you actually mean the jokes that you say.
Yeah. So I don't know what's the best way to put that. His humor not so subtly or subtly hides his true contempt. Something I don't know.
Yeah, that works. I mean, even if you just kind of put a note so you remember and then you finesse it as ideas come to you, that works.
Okay. His humor is a not so subtle tack. on.
My sarcasm is not sarcasm.
If people think I'm funny, they don't realize I'm just an asshole.
Right. That's a really good bed. You could do lots of that. That's
I
good.
have a funny way of being mean.
I'll put it this way. People think I'm funny, but they don't know how much I actually hate them.
Perfect. I see at least one person couldn't resist Lucky.
I took lucky.
Yeah.
I debated it.
I tell you, after you take a critical that takes your fingers off, you start looking at those things.
They grow back. It's fine.
I'm still trying to come up with a dark secret.
People think I'm funny, but they don't know how much I actually hate them as I laugh, as I roast them. And I'll put in brackets. Can I actually roast them? All right, that's how I'll put it in brackets. People think I'm funny, but they don't know how much I actually hate them as I roast them. And then in brackets, can I actually roast them one of these days? Then I'll have to take a dot. Then I'll have to take a dot to cook. That got dark and it hurt.
Yeah, that's what the chef talent is for.
What the chef's talent's for.
Which the necromancer took.
Mark, why did you?
Oh,
Oh,
no!
nice. Hey, who's in the mood for spare ribs?
Oh God!
Oh,
I'm trying to think of a funny headbutt dark secret, but
this is the best pork I've had in a while. Yes, it's long pork. What does that mean?
Jesus!
Just a bigger pig.
Oh.
Yes, a bigger, longer pig.
Don't name your character Hannibal, please.
And I had a 13-page game where the party would eat whatever they killed. They had like a recipe for like owlbear buffalo wings and stuff. But the discussion came up from one of the halflings that said, you know what? If we're not eating halfling, we're not actually cannibals.
There you go.
oh,
We're going to have a celebration and feast tonight. We're calling it the Donner Party.
Mm.
there's no orcs in this party. No dwarves.
No.
Technically.
Why does the necromancer keep asking us to get fava beans?
All right. Well, while Anita is figuring out her dark secret, the other thing you'll have to think of is relationships with the other characters. You guys have basically the trip from the Empire to this island is 4 days at sea with nothing else to do. So you will know a little bit about each other. So you can kind of just jot down kind of like how you view the others on like very, very broad strokes, because you guys do not know one another in depth by any stretch of the imagination.
So you can't really put in the notes, probably. Yes.
Yep. Or even like through the Discord, if you just kind of want to post like, these are things that would be very obvious about my character. Like, my character is surly, my character is standoffish, whatever, just very general.
Okay.
We'll worry more about keeping track of your relationships as the game progresses, as opposed to starting off knowing like, oh, this person is my best friend in the world. Gear. Starting gear is based off of your profession. Now, if I set the permissions properly, under items, and then core game, and then gear, you guys should have access to the gear lists.
Yep.
So, as a sorcerer, Tony, you have your choice of a staff or a knife.
Okay, I will take a knife.
Okay. One item of your choice from the list of trade goods.
Trade. Oh my god.
This is ticking me off here.
I will take lockpicks.
There we go. That solved that.
Just in case it's of interest to you, Tony, for your magic. What level did you take? Level 1 or level 2?
2.
A piece of crystal is an ingredient for Chill of the Grave.
It's a one-use thing, though, right?
It is. Contaminate requires a sick animal.
I can make animals sick.
Ghoulish Glare requires a hood. Hand of
Do I get clothes?
yes. Hand of Doom requires a severed hand.
It's not on the list.
Speak to the Dead requires the body part of a dead person.
I can make those.
All right. So yeah, you do have basic clothing. So you have a knife item. You have a D8 silver pieces to your name.
I think I get a D12.
I'll take a flint and steel for my general one.
Okay, perfect.
And then D8 silver. Is that a roll?
It is.
Right. The die roller doesn't work.
Doesn't? Oh, I don't know. I guess it does.
Okay, 5.
Okay. And then your starting resources, you have a food at a D6 and water at a D8.
All right, got that. That's not much.
Nope.
Can I take fine garments because I'm merchant?
Okay. Nope.
Just simple clothes then?
But you do get a knife.
Okay.
3 items of your choice from the list of trade goods. You will note that one of the things on the list of trade goods is a map. If you take map, your map is hundreds of years old. It is somewhat fragile and possibly not very accurate.
I mean, still knowing which way's north is good. Like what corner of the island we're on.
And most characters, you also get like a backpack or a sack, something to carry your crap in, and a water skin.
Everybody does?
Everybody.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah.
Knapsack?
Yep. Everybody gets a knapsack and a water skin. Those 2 things are assumed. You don't actually have to write them on your character sheet.
Oh, okay.
Chris, I sent you a dark secret in the Discord just to see if it's appropriate.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. There's a way that can come into play.
Okay.
You'll notice things like if you take a tent, for example, a tent gives a +2 bonus to make camp rolls. 10 meters of rope is always handy if the Boondock Saints has taught us anything.
There's your stupid rope.
Sorry, I got behind on the gear stuff. What's going on?
People don't start with a ton of gear, so I'm just kind of going through them profession by profession.
Okay. Perfect. I didn't miss anything then.
So you have 7 pieces of silver, Trevor.
Woohoo!
And your food and water resources are at a D8. Semi-important thing for encumbrance purposes, if you have... Muted?
No, I hear you.
I hear you.
Oh, Nita doesn't hear me.
I hear you.
I'm hearing you fine.
All right. So if you have any dice at all in any of the consumables, they count as 1 encumbrance. Okay. That was the peddler.
All right, so I'm taking ink and quill, lamp oil, and lantern because I can't find a book to write in.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to get rid of the ink and quill. I'm going to take the magnifying glass.
Okay. The minstrel starts with your choice of a lyre or flute.
Okay, I was trying to add to this loot or flute. Okay. I put gear, but I'm not sure how do I add it.
Okay. 1 sec.
Oh, up on top. I'm sorry, I was looking in the wrong spot. Okay.
No worries.
Loot. Normal item, I assume. Oh, that's not it. Save? You save. Okay.
Okay. You also start with a knife.
What's a weapon, I assume?
Yep.
That's not a knife.
Here, I'll drag them over for you. It'll be a little bit easier.
Oh, okay, thank you. Ah,
No worries.
oh.
Uh,
All right, what else? The 2 from the list or 2 from trade goods?
you get 1 item of your choice from the list of trade goods.
Oh, 1. Okay, sorry. Where's the list of trade goods? I was having trouble finding.
So it'll be under the gear tab, so right beside the actor tab.
Oh, game settings?
It should be chat, combat, actor, gear items.
Okay, so right now I'm looking at actor.
Yep, there should be one that looks like a little satchel beside it.
Items director, yep.
Yep. And
But right
then,
now I think I have all the skill things open. So
yeah, if you just click the talent folder, it'll shrink them all up again.
okay. Oh, there we are, gear.
Yep, and then there's one called trade goods.
Can I get one of these?
Just one.
Well, you're giving us a backpack for free, right?
Yep.
Okay, is that something you can put on the sheet for me now, or is that just assumed? Don't have to
It's
worry
just
about
assumed.
it. Okay. What would be a good one for me? What would be a good one for me as a jester or a bard? Got my what? Got my loot. Um, magnifying glass, metal chalice, paralyzing poison. Ooh. Um, I'm not sure. What do you recommend, if anything?
I would just never underestimate the power of needle and thread if it's there. Lockpicks if nobody has them. Rope if nobody has it. A tent. Sleeping bag.
Okay. Grappling. Lethal poison. That's something that interested me. I'm forgetting what. Rope, maybe.
In the meantime, Anita, as a fighter, you get a one-handed weapon of your choice.
Yeah, I'll take rope.
Okay.
Needle and thread are in tools and not in trade goods.
Oh, okay. So, did you want a sword?
Oh, you want me to pick it now? Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
killing mosquitoes in here. Bastards.
Actually, I'm gonna take a small tent. Screw it.
Yeah, a sword would be nice.
Or did you want an axe, or a falchion?
Nope, sword's good.
Okay. Do you want a broadsword or a longsword?
What is going to be the difference to me?
Okay. A
I've
longsword.
chosen a small. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
A longsword is heavy, whereas a broadsword is normal. Heavy means you can use a fast action to swing to increase the damage.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll take that one.
Okay.
All right, just so you know, I chose a small tent.
Small tent. Perfect. I'll throw that on your sheet for you.
I did already.
Oh, excellent.
I figured it out.
Perfect. You also get studded leather armor.
Ooh.
So for
Oh, now you're showing off.
the only armor amongst the party.
I was about
That
to say, you
explains-
talking to me or Anita?
Anita.
Armor. Holy cow. Okay.
One item of trade goods.
I still have my armor because they were too afraid to take it from me.
More of like where you're going to need all the help you can get.
Okay.
Are you playing human, Anita?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, so one trade good.
Yep. You have 4 silver, which I've added to your sheet.
Thank you.
And food and water.
I take it you're adding that for me too.
Yep, got it.
Okay.
And finally for Yorick. You get a choice of a staff or a knife.
Yep, taking a staff.
Ooh, 6 silver.
Ooh.
One item of your choice from trade goods. And your food and water both start at D8.
Do I need to? Is there a way to put more than 1 silver coin in my sheet, or do I need to put 8 silver coin in my gear?
No, at the top of your gear list.
All right, there's there. Okay, good.
I like the fact that they have plus and minus arrows.
Yep. I think I'm gonna go with the how do you call that? Lock picking tool.
Okay. Perfect.
And D8 for food and D8 for water.
Yep.
Where are you, dice?
All right.
What's the environment like on the island where we're going?
Where you're going on the island is jungly.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do a roll of D8.
For your stuff, you don't have to worry about it. It's
Oh, in that sense of a D8 for food and water.
exactly.
A D8 of food and a D8 of water. My food and water is at D8.
Great. So what time is it here? So we'll take like a quick 5-10 minute bio break. I don't think we'll do any actual real play. But what I think we'll do is we'll just kind of like run through some mechanical things so you guys know how things go. Does that
Yeah, sounds good.
sound like a plan?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, we'll take a quick little bio break and be back.
Okay.
right, so like I said, we're gonna basically just do a couple little mock things so everybody can get used to how the dice rolls work. So the first thing, a skill roll. Skill rolls are pretty simple. Just when you open up your character sheet. I'll grab a character sheet here. So if I say, for example, let's get everybody to make an endurance roll. Say you're marching all day, so you just click endurance. You'll get a little pop-up menu. And that's where you can put any modifiers that may apply. So you'll see it'll tell you the crossed swords are successes, and the skulls are banes. Banes have no effect unless you elect to push the roll. If you push the roll, any banes that you had and any banes that come up are activated, which means they will do a point of damage to that stat. But by doing so, you will also get willpower. The nice thing is the sheet automatically tracks that for you. So Okatai, for example, no successes on the endurance roll, and a bane. So Yorick, you know that if you push that, you are going to take a point of damage to your strength. So then you're like, do I really need it? But on the other hand, if I do, I'll get the willpower. If you elect to push the roll, then you just click the little thing on the chat card that says push.
Chris, can I ask, because I saw this relating to, I think, my talents, what does it mean by attacking an attribute?
Which talent? Your sharp tongue?
Yeah. Like it says it attacks whatever, empathy or wits or something. I'm just curious about the whole idea of attacking an attribute as opposed to, let's say, attacking hit points.
Yeah, you can take damage in any of the attributes. Like strength is kind of your hit points, agility is your coordination, wits is your mental fortitude, and empathy is your kind of sense of ennui. If any of those hit 0, then you are broken and incapable of taking any more action. So, like, say you're dealing with, say you guys get waylaid by some bandits. You could use your sharp tongue, going like. And if you do enough damage to the wits, you would take them out of the fight as opposed to having to actually attack them. Sharp Tongue, I believe, uses manipulation, so you would roll your manipulation instead of your melee, for example.
Okay.
So looking at this, Okatai could push it if Yorick wanted to. Trustius, you got 3 successes, you're fine. And normally what we allow is if you get multiple successes, you can help somebody else along. Like you can, kind of like in Conan, if you get extra momentum, you can increase your scope of success.
So if that was like a difficulty 1, quote unquote, I could say Okatai's fine and Risen is fine.
Right. And generally speaking, with the exception of like combat where you kind of want more successes, to inflict more damage, you only need 1 success. As long as you get 1, you have done whatever it is that you want.
Okay.
With this, if anybody wants to push the roll, just so you can see how the push works and see the changes it makes on your character sheet, feel free.
What do you do to push something?
On the chat card for your character, just click the little push button.
All right, where's the push button?
So it'll be in the chat under the chat bubble icon.
Oh yeah, it's just right under the last roll we made. We
Yep.
say, hey, if I failed that, so I'm going to click push. And then it knocked my strength down 1.
Right, and it should have also given you a willpower.
And it also gave me a willpower.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yep.
Bring my there we go.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for skill rolls. You will notice some of you, like if you've got those of you that have tents, for example, if you click on your survival, and then you'll see basically 2 columns on the pop-up. One is dice, and the other side is modifiers.
Yep.
So if you click the little thing under active, it will add the tent into your dice roll.
Sorry, how does it add it?
Just
I mean,
see there's a little checkbox under active by where your tent is.
oh, sorry, no, I went into the survival skill. Sorry.
Find your character.
So go into tent.
Okay. Oh, give me 1 sec here. I'll add the actual tent for you.
Okay, I went into gear.
Oh, I get you. So for me, flint and steel is part of survival, so it shows up on the list for survival.
Right. And then if it applies, then you just check the active box and off you go.
And then there you go. Yeah, that's awesome. That would be so much work in Conan.
The way group roles work in Forbidden Lands. If you're doing something like scouting, rather than everybody roll, whoever is the best makes the roll. If you're doing something like stealth, whoever is the worst at it makes the roll. And it's the same as for things like manipulation, for example. If you guys are probably far better off getting Mark's character to talk to people instead of everybody talking at once. Because if everybody's talking at once, whoever has the lowest manipulation is the one that's going to be making that roll. So you do have to kind of plan a little bit. And it's the same thing like if you're marching around and scouting, then it's just going to be whoever is the best scout is the one that makes the roll. So if they don't see it, they don't see it. You'll notice on this map there is an icon for the party, and I think everybody has ownership of it.
Yep.
So if you open that, you'll see there's a list of the party members. But if you click on travel, there's a neat little chart. So when you travel, you can just drag your character to the thing that you're doing. So, for example, assuming you want to actually travel, everybody has to hike.
Oh, that's great.
That's very cool.
So you can decide, who's doing, who's leading the way, who's keeping watch, that sort of thing. You cannot forage, hunt, fish, sleep, rest, or make camp while you're hiking. So assuming that you guys are like, okay, we're gonna head out. We're gonna head out into the wilds and see what's out there. So the first thing you need to decide is who's going to lead the way, which is a survival role. So figure out who is your best at survival, and they should probably lead the way.
Probably the wolf guy.
Yeah, I assume that would be me.
Okay. And who is going to keep watch?
I put myself under keep watch.
Right. And everybody else is just marching along.
Hi ho, hi ho.
Right. So on the large overland map, right now you guys can only see a little bit of area that you know. There is a fog of war active, so as you explore the map, you'll see more and more of it. In a quarter day, you can go 2 hexes in open terrain. So we'll assume like you guys are gonna like brave the wall, go out into the desert. So you go this way. So Okatai would need to make a survival roll for lead the way. And on the party sheet, you can literally just click the lead the way.
Straight on the party sheet.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Okay, that gives me the rules.
Yeah, and then the one under it, we'll roll it.
Oh, okay.
So you successfully lead your way out away from the gate and into the wilds of the jungle. I will also need Anita to make a keep watch roll.
So that skull doesn't matter because he didn't push, right?
Right. And generally speaking, you can't push travel rolls. And then as you move into a new hex, because this is a hex crawl, I would roll for a random encounter. I will not. I will roll openly so that you guys see it. We are going to say that this is plains. So nothing happens that day. So
is that the day or is that the quarter day?
That's the first half of the quarter day because you can go 2 hexes in a quarter day.
Okay. Yep.
And then from here, you can branch out. You can continue on the path you're going, or you can go in either of the other directions. So you're like, let's follow the coastline, see where it goes. Every time you move into a new hex is a new lead the way roll and a new scouting roll.
And now we're in jungle now. Does that slow us down to 1 hex?
It does.
Okay. So kind of like how we do Conan or
Yep.
Exiles.
Yep. So that would be another lead the roll away from Yorick. And another scouting roll from Anita. Okay. Right.
I got at least one.
Perfect. So we're going to, just for purposes of this, we're going to assume that he failed to lead the way. We'll pretend like he didn't roll a success.
There you go, Yorick.
Oh no!
So as you start to lead into the jungle, there is a buzzing swarm of mosquitoes.
Oh my god.
So they attack with 4 dice. 4 dice to empathy.
As they piss us all off.
Still doing damage to empathy. I can believe it.
And I just gotta find my dice rolling macro. Alright, so I didn't get any successes. So the mosquitoes are annoying, but they have no effect on you. Had I rolled higher, you guys would have all taken damage to your empathy. For some of you, this is bad. You guys would be like, fuck it, I'm going home.
That would be very bad. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going home. Oh shit, I'm on an island.
We'd have to have a home to go to.
And we're going to say, for random encounter purposes, that the coastal jungle area is probably a marshlands.
Sure.
But again, you guys luck in, no encounter. So you guys have made it, about 12 miles or so from the village, starting to get into some jungly terrain. You know there's mosquitoes. You've traveled for the better part of half the day. So you can decide whether you want to set up camp, whether anybody wants to go hunting or anything, or whether you want to continue to march. You can march for another quarter day, but then it will be dark by the time you get around to setting up camp. It's up to you guys, really. For purposes of this, we'll assume you're going to set up camp. So while you're setting up camp, so somebody needs to actually make the camp. So you can just drag your token to whoever wants to make camp.
Sure.
What kind
I'll
of
make
role
it.
do you make them?
Okay. Somebody probably wants to keep watch while you're setting up camp.
I'll continue keeping watch.
And we have found that it's best if somebody tries to sleep while camp is being set up so they can keep watch overnight. But that's entirely up to
I'll
the group.
sleep.
Okay, perfect.
I already put myself at sleeping.
There you go. All right. What would Okatai and Kaldi like to do?
Sleep.
Could I gather for forage for vegetable and stuff?
Yep.
It just dragged me to other.
For some reason, I have two of you on the map.
Oh, well, there we go.
There we go. All right. So, Trustius, you would have to make camp, so you can make a survival roll or click the make camp button. Assuming somebody is letting you set up their tent, you can, where it says gear bonus,
Yep.
put +2.
Okay.
So
One's enough. I shouldn't have to push it, right?
Exactly. And Okatai is going foraging, so you can click the forage button. In a jungle, I would say there would be a +1 modifier, so you can put +1 under a modifier. So you have failed to find anything.
In the jungle.
You can choose to push it if you like. During actual play, you can push a roll if you desperately need to make the roll. Like you guys have food still, so you don't need to desperately find anything, so you wouldn't normally be allowed to push it.
Yeah, I was just doing it to check the taking damage.
For sure. All right. So you have successfully found 2 vegetables. So it comes back. Camp's set up. Anita, you're keeping watch.
So, Chris, before you go on to Anita,
Yep.
my make camp, I got 1 success.
Yep.
Is there any advantage to push that?
No.
Okay, so it's just like 1's enough.
Yep.
Okay.
And the way the reason for the scouting rules are if there is a random encounter, if Anita had succeeded at the scouting rule, then you guys would come upon the encounter in a way that is advantageous to you.
Okay.
If she fails the scouting roll, then you come across the encounter in a way that is disadvantageous. So, say for example, say the random encounter was an animal. We'll say it's a violent animal. We'll say it's like some sort of like dinosaur. We'll say velociraptor. So you guys are going through the jungle. Desislava is keeping her eyes open. Makes the rolls, so it means you guys notice the velociraptors well enough to be able to decide how you want to approach them, or whether you want to try to go around them, or whatever. If she fails it, it means you guys are like pushing aside some bushes, and oh shit, there's velociraptors right there. The nice thing with the Forbidden Lands encounter tables is they're not D&D encounter tables. They're not all things to fight. They will sometimes be like just weird shit or NPCs to interact with or things of that nature, or what they call adventure sites. So, as a random encounter, it's possible that maybe you stumble across some ancient ruins, and then you decide whether you're going to set up camp to explore them further, or whether you're just going to mark them on your map and continue that sort of thing.
And this is all kind of random, right?
It is.
So very Twilight.
Yep. There are things that will lead you in the direction of like an overall story for the island. It's kind of like when you play like Conan Exiles or Ark, right? You find things that lead you along a little story, but you kind of have to figure it out as you go. There's no. I mean, I'm not going to say there's no quest givers, because you might come across a village and they're like, oh, our fields are being ravaged by animals. Please help us. But other than that, it is going to be largely dependent on what you guys want to do.
Okay, I get you.
So, skill rolls, the actual mechanics are pretty basic. The last kind of skill thing we'll do if the two spellcasters, if you want to like open your character sheets, and you should be able to just like give yourself willpower. So like set your willpower to say 3.
Okay.
Oh, we have to add your spells on there, Tony. Give me a sec, I'll get that. Spells, death magic. That one. Okay. I think it's funny that we have death magic and path of healing.
I think it works out really well.
We have a friendly necromancer and a grumpy healer.
All right. So when you guys want to cast a spell, it just under talents is the list of your spells.
Yep.
So if you just click on it, you'll see it'll tell you how much willpower you currently have, and then you can decide how much you would like to spend on it.
Okay, so if I want a Hand of Doom, sounds good. The Velociraptor.
Yep.
Brings up a box. I don't have an ingredient. I don't have psychic power.
Hand of Doom is not chance casting or safe casting, so you just decide how much willpower you want to put into it.
It shows me 2 boxes.
Yep, because it costs you 1 willpower automatically to cast a spell. And then you could
Okay, so it's 1 to cast it.
Yep.
So if I want to put 3 into it, just for giggles,
Yep. So click both of the willpower things. Left click.
right click. Gives me 3 dice, 3 power level, and just hit roll.
And hit roll.
Power level 4.
So power level 4 means you do 4 strength damage. Just like that. Like that would
That would kill me.
That would kill you. That would almost drop Anita's character. Like, and there's no resisting it, right? Like that's the thing with magic.
So what's the downside to the magic?
Okay. So the downside to magic. The downside to magic is if any of those dice that you just rolled had come up as a 1, then you would roll on the magic mishap table.
Okay, can we make that happen?
You can if you go to compendiums. And then macros.
Okay, macros.
Core game. Macros, you should see one that says journeying mishap or magic mishaps. Just drag that down to your hotbar and then click it.
I don't see magic mishaps.
You don't.
I see compendium packs.
Okay.
Under which one?
Under macro.
Macro, Bitter Reach, Core.
Core game macros.
Oh god, they all open up.
Yep.
Magic mishap, trade that to the bar.
Yep, and then you should be able to click it. So there, you lost control of the power and spell backfires. An offensive spell affects you instead of your intended target. Protective or healing spell wounds instead of healing. Shift goes horribly wrong. Become a dumb animal. Summoned undead, demon, or illusion turns against you. So if you had rolled a 1 on any of those dice, it would have backfired on you and you would have taken probably the 3 damage, assuming you didn't roll any 6s.
Oh god. Alright, that's cool.
This is how my first character died.
Yeah, it's kind of built in that you're just gonna die if you cast a lot of spells.
Yeah. Well, especially because you can cast spells higher than what you know. So, because you know rank 2 death magic, you can try to cast rank 3 death magic, but it's an automatic roll on the magic mishap table.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
So my druid was trying to banish a demon out from somebody, which was higher level than what she could normally cast. And I think I rolled a 66 on magical mishap, which is inflicted critical injury on yourself, and then I rolled a 65 on the critical, which was instant death. So my brain exploded. That was our game 5, I think. So magic is powerful but risky. That's why the sorcerers and druids tend to be more Gandalf, in that they carry weapons as well. Are there any questions about the mechanics? We'll do dice rolling while we play, without a doubt. So it's pretty basic, and it does automatically track your damage and your willpower gains as you do them. So
I think one of the big things is that, this is my understanding, Chris, if you say you rolled 4 dice and you get a 1 and a 6, and you push that roll, the 1 and 6 stay, right?
correct.
Yeah. So you can't get rid of the mishap by pushing.
Correct. When you roll, the advantage to having higher skills, skill dice don't have banes on them. So your skill dice will never bone you. They may fail, but they'll never screw you. And gear dice, if ones come up on your gear dice, the bonus from your gear degrades until it breaks. Alright. So with that, we will very...
What determine the dice of the gear?
It's based on the gear. Small tent is 2, a longsword is 2, a shield I think is 2. A lot of things are 2.
So it's not a bonus. It's not a bonus dice. It's a bonus.
Yep. And they give you actually even rope, for example. Rope gives you a bonus on climbing. But if you push the roll and damage your rope, then your rope degrades and breaks. Almost every piece of gear in the game provides you with a bonus on something. Like even boots. Boots give you a bonus when you need to do a forced march. All right. Combat. Combat in this game can be very quick, very lethal. It can also be longer depending on what you want to do. During a combat round, characters can take fast actions and short and slow actions. We'll start up combat. For initiative, I think I added onto everybody's hotbar down at the bottom. I think I added a draw initiative macro.
Yep.
Yep.
So
I'd be looking for.
down at the bottom of your screen, there
Should be in position 0.
Yeah, there should be a little hotbar, kind of like in an MMO. And
I don't play MMOs. That doesn't help me. I see a 1 to 0 set of boxes.
Yep. Did I not give you a draw initiative macro?
I don't know.
0 should look like a stack of cards with one card being lifted up. Yep, click that.
Yep.
Yep. How many cards do you want to draw?
You draw 1 unless you have a talent that lets you draw more than 1.
Okay. There are not enough cards left. Shuffling the deck.
Okay.
Do you want to redraw? Sure.
Okay.
More. And where do I see it in the chat?
You'll see what you drew in the chat, and then there is also a little sword icon in case you want to see what the initiative actually is.
The combat tracker?
That's the one, yep.
Okay.
So just need York to draw and... for this purposes, all of my NPCs go on the same initiative. So,
Where is the card?
it should be down at the bottom. You should have like a hotbar, and there should be one that says Draw Initiative.
Are those just numbered like function keys, like an F1, F2 would be?
Yeah, it's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0 across the top. They don't use the function keys. They do other things in Foundry.
No, I'm just saying, is that what it's like assigning a role to a function key?
Yep.
Okay. I was just wondering if there was a purpose to those numbers, like it's a track for some reason.
Perfect. All right. In the game, low initiative goes first. So in this case, it would be Okatai. Then I don't know why people have the same initiative. They shouldn't.
Doing a bit of a you have no card thing.
Right. At the start of combat, or at the start of any round, the player characters can change initiative amongst themselves.
That's kind of cool.
Neat.
Right. So in this case, like say for a fact, we'll say for some bizarre reason, Caldy was up a little bit closer, and you know he's going slow because he's an old goblin man.
And I rolled 10.
All right, you know those bandits are going to be upon him before he gets a chance to move. So somebody who's faster than the bandits could switch initiative with him.
So I could trade my initiative with Calden's.
Right.
Okay, let's do that. How do we do that?
Game Master,
Okay.
Game Master changes numbers.
Easy.
There we go. So Okatai would be up first. You get a fast action and a slow action. You have little markers under your thing on the initiative tracker, so you can click which actions you've taken, because sometimes you can take an action out of turn. Fast actions are things like drawing a weapon or moving to an adjacent zone by running.
So if I want to bunk someone on the head with a staff, I need to move to him, and because the staff is near, is not arm.
Right. So near is pretty much anything in the same zone you're in. So you could fast action and move up to where the bandits are, and then slow action to attack with the staff.
Okay, let's try that.
And then on your combat tab, if you just click staff, it'll include all of your staff bonuses and everything. Right. So you'll see the chat thing's a little bit different here. It tells you how many successes, but it also tells you how much damage you did.
2 damage to strength.
2 damage to the strength. He does have some leather armor.
And I am not in arm reach. I'm still at near.
So he takes 2 damage.
So that's 2 successes, 2 damage, right?
Right. Because 1 success does the base damage to the staff, which is 1, and then every additional success does 1 more. That would take it to Desislava. So Anita, you would be up.
And I can move how far?
A fast action moves you 1 zone or moves you into arm's reach with somebody in the same zone.
Okay, I would move 1 zone then.
Yeah. So you know that if you move into the same zone, the bandit is going to be able to close with you and attack, so you can keep your other action ready to defend yourself if you want.
Okay, definitely.
It's slightly better than closing with him and not having any actions left.
Yeah.
That would take us to Colby.
Colby's just going to use his knife, I would imagine.
Okay.
Or make a break for it.
So you wouldn't have enough actions to be able to close with anybody, because it's 1 to get into the zone and then 1 more to close with them.
Okay.
So you could close with somebody if you wanted to.
No.
Yeah. Or
I got a butter knife and cloth armor.
Okay. Yeah. Or you could back up ever so slightly and go like. Perfect. The bandits. All right. Now, that bandit sees you attacking his friend. He's going to attack you with his short sword. He's going to attack Yorick.
Alas, poor Yorick.
Ooh. So that's going to be 3 damage.
And I have no armor.
And you have no armor. Thankfully, Anita has Path of the Shield. So she could spend a willpower to parry for a friend who is within the same zone.
Yep, that sounds like something I'd do.
Yep. So we'll assume that everybody has like 3 willpower, so you can set 3 willpower in your sheet in case you need anything. So in order to parry, you would make a melee attack. And every success you get cancels out one of the bandits.
Is there something I need to do to make my sword active?
So if you go to your combat tab,
Okay.
and then just click longsword.
Okay, there we go. Oh
Right.
no.
Okay, so now you have a choice. Are you going to risk overextending yourself and maybe damaging your sword? Actually, sorry, you're going to be overextending yourself to try to protect Okatai, or are you going to let him take the hit?
She'd overextend herself.
Okay, so you can hit the push button.
Push.
All right. So it drops it down. So you overextend yourself. And as we start to play, and as you guys get more used to it, the expectation is that the players will explain just how their push or how their failures or how their successes look. But in this case, you can see you took 2 damage to your strength, 1 damage to your sword, but you did stop one of those hits to Okatai, so Okatai only takes 2 damage instead of 3.
Okay.
And then York, if you, I think it's if you left click, you can mark the damage on your strength.
Left click, you say?
Yep. Left click marks the damage, right click removes the damage. Alright, this bandit back here. He sees there's a fighter up there. He's gonna sling at Anita. Oof. For 2 damage. So again, on your combat tab, since you actually have armor, you can roll for your armor.
How do I do that?
Just click where it says studded leather, or
Yeah.
where it says armor.
Neither one did anything.
On your combat tab.
Oh, sorry, I was on my gear tab.
Yeah. I make that
Okay.
mistake all the time.
Okay. Feel better? Oh no!
All right. So.
See, my dice and I are just not friends. At all. Ever.
But you can blame this on a computer because this isn't really your dice.
Right. So you take 2 damage to your strength, so you can just click off 2 boxes on your strength.
Ouch. Okay.
And because
Wait, did it do it automatically? Because I'm down at 2 now. Or sorry, I'm at 1 now.
no, the other 2 is from your overextension.
Oh, okay.
And because you rolled a bane on your leather, and damage got through, it means your armor is damaged as well.
No.
So this it does not do automatically. So on your gear tab,
Yeah.
if you click the little edit icon by your studded leather,
Yup.
okay, So you see up at the top, it's like studded leather, rating.
Mm-hmm. I take one off.
Take one off.
Okay.
This guy. What's this guy?
I tried to make a badass. My dice and I just don't agree on what that means.
He's going to use a fast action to move his zone, and then another fast action to close with Culdy.
Your dice thinks that means bad rolls.
Oh, it doesn't matter what I do. My dice think it means bad rolls.
It doesn't seem to matter if you need to roll high or roll low.
No, it doesn't either. That's the thing. Like, how do they know which game I'm playing?
This guy, seeing the badly wounded fighter, is going to turn and try to short sword you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
For 1 damage. You don't have any actions left to parry, but you can roll for your armor. Alright. So he only got 1 damage. You stop it, and so even though you rolled a Bane, because your armor completely stopped it, it does not further degrade.
Good.
So it has to get through the armor.
Right. If there's a Bane and your armor doesn't stop all the damage.
Okay.
And this guy is going to charge the sickly-looking elf. That will take us to Risen.
Okay. Oh, Bandit came up.
Yep. Bandit came charging across. Close distance. He's not actually closed with you. He is closed with Trustius. Given the fact that these are humans, you could use your sharp tongue on them if you wished.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do.
Perfect. So you get to roll manipulation against their insight.
So I can't. I don't know what just happened. Did I roll?
No, that was my insight.
Oh,
roll.
because I was wondering if I was wondering what's the easiest way to access my character sheet, but I have to go back into. I have to actually go into it.
You do if you just hit the C button, it'll pull up your character sheet.
B button.
C for character, it'll pull it right up.
Oh, you mean like actually on my keyboard? Okay, sorry, I
Yep.
was looking for an icon. Okay,
Nope.
yeah, I see. Okay, so I go into. Is this an empathy or a manipulate?
Manipulation.
So I find manipulation. I click roll. There's no modifiers.
Correct.
So what's good here, or what was good there since it disappeared so quickly?
You need 6s. On the chat card, if you click by where the sword icon is, it'll show you what the dice actually were.
Okay, so I got 0 successes according to this.
Right. So you could push that roll if you wanted to and re-roll the entire pool.
I was wondering. You kept talking about push, and I was like, "Where the heck is this push you keep talking about?" Okay, I see it there. So it's in that chat. Okay.
Yep.
And what does push do exactly?
Push will re-roll everything that is not a 6 or a 1. So in this case, all of your dice.
And is there a cost for doing that?
There is not, but there is a risk of taking damage.
Okay, yeah, cost risk. That's what I mean. There's something that could be bad could happen from pushing.
Right.
Okay.
But you got 2 successes.
Yep.
And the way Sharp Tongue works is if you succeed in the opposed manipulation challenge against somebody, you can do 1 empathy damage for every success above what you needed. Since they got 0 on their insight, and you got 2, that means you will do 2 empathy damage to him.
Okay.
Given the fact that he only has an empathy of 2. So yeah, as he comes up, you let out this string of insults and insinuating things about his mother and all that stuff, enough that he is broken and he is out of the fight.
Okay.
Apparently my tokens are locked. All right, so that is the end of the first round. Your fighter has taken a little bit of a beating.
Taking an ass kicking.
Does anybody wish to switch initiative? Oh, actually,
Don't think
sorry. Trustius is up. My bad.
Okay, so I am not in arm's reach with anybody at the moment.
Correct.
So and I have willpower because you gave it to us for nothing.
Yep.
I will try to spend 2 on Ghoulish Glare because that is short range.
Okay, so short range is basically one zone away from you.
And I'll try to get this guy in the middle.
Okay.
Honestly, you can't carry your world.
So I spend 2, right?
You have to spend 1, and then you can choose to spend more if you wish.
So I'll spend 1 because I want to keep 1. And there's no ingredient, no psychic power, none of that.
Okay. Yep.
Power level 2.
Power.
So that's 2 damage to empathy.
Oh. As we've already established, these guys only have an empathy of 2. And technically, both of these guys would suffer trauma as well. So the first guy, the guy that Risen insulted, is going to be suffering some nightmares. And the other guy is going to become claustrophobic. But essentially, one of the things about the game is as you learn about different opponents, you can target different, or try to target different things. Like you've realized now that these bandits don't have a great degree of empathy, and it makes it very easy to manipulate them and to frighten them. So your fighter's taken a bit of a beating, but you have dissuaded 2 of the bandits from continuing this action. Back around to the top. If anybody wants to switch initiative, you can do so.
No, I think we're good, right? The guys that are slow are in the back, and the guys that are fast are in the front.
I'm fine.
Yeah, fine for me.
Okay.
I'm good.
Perfect. So that would take us to Okatai.
The damage reduced my pool, I imagine.
It will, yes. There is a bit of a death spiral. One of the things you'll notice, so your staff, all of your weapons have features. This one has blunt, parrying, and hook. Blunt means it does bludgeoning damage. Parrying means you can use it to parry. Hook means you can, as a fast action, you can use it to trip an opponent who is within reach. If you attack a prone opponent, you get a +1 modifier. A very effective combat tactic if you have a battle axe, because battle axes have hook, is fast action to sweep the legs, and then your slow action to embed the axe in their skull.
Ook is a fast action.
Hook is a fast action. It's a shove.
If you do that to someone, do you get a bonus to attack it afterward?
You do. You get a +1 bonus to strike a prone opponent.
I started seeing the interest of the pike.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Okay.
Is that a special button to try to hook?
Down at the bottom of your combat sheet, you should see where it says unarmed strike, shove, disarm. Just click shove.
So one success.
So if he has a higher strength than you,
Right now my strength is 2 less because of the damage.
so your strength is 2 total. Okay. So that is not enough to shove him to the ground. You could push the roll if you wanted to try to get a second success.
Since it isn't gonna damage my strength, I'm not gonna try that.
Okay. Okay. But you do still have your slow action.
So I can still bunk.
Yep.
Doesn't work.
Nope. You could push it if you like.
Well, we're trying stuff, so might as well.
Oh no!
Took 1 damage. I took 1 damage again, but I did 1 damage.
Oh, and you wrecked his armor in the process.
Hey,
Good.
Okay. Anita.
Yes. I would like to try to hit that bandit by Uktai.
Okay. So fast action to close up with them, and then
Yep.
okay. Oh.
I'm going to be making a new character so fast once we actually start playing.
You are good at fighters.
Right. So that is a roll that you probably don't want to push. You could if you like. You will break your sword in the process.
I'd really rather not.
Okay.
I don't like the idea of breaking my poor little sword.
Okay. That will take us to Trevor.
it's time for me to cut somebody.
One of us has to.
This game is so not D&D.
Oh, very much so.
I guess this just be a straight roll for me. I haven't got any skills that'll help.
All right. So if you click on the combat tab of your character sheet,
Yeah, I'm there.
yeah, and then click on knife,
Yep.
and there you go. With 2, it's probably not worth pushing.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
But ooh, damage to him and wreck his armor.
Hey, that's quality.
Right. This bandit up here. He is going to desperately try to get rid of this fighter. That is going to be 1 damage. You've used both your actions, so you have to trust in your damaged armor.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, what was the die with what looked like crossed swords?
That would have been a success, I believe.
Yeah.
As opposed to the skulls that I got, which is not.
Yeah.
At all. Even a little bit.
Because it needed dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one more point of damage to you.
So that takes me to 0 strength.
All right. So you are broken.
Oh, yes. That's obvious.
And take a stab critical.
Wow. How do I do that?
I roll for it.
Oh.
So you have a bleeding gut. So you will die in a D6 hours unless treated. And your gut is going to be sore for a D6 days.
I would love to say I'm shocked by that.
So 3 hours till you die.
Great.
2 hours, 2 days for it to heal, and the bleeding gut means you would take a point of damage every single time you roll might, move, or melee.
Yeah, doing well.
It's fine, we have a druid.
Anyone has seen any like white moss around here? I might need that soon.
And worst comes to worst, you could just keep hanging out later anyway.
This is fine.
You're just gonna bring me back, right?
It's okay.
That's why I got a necromancer.
Actually, both me and Tony's gonna have resurrection.
Oh no.
All right. So now an interesting thing about the game is the default assumption is that enemies will not go after downed opponents. So they will not like just run by and like stab Desislava in the head.
They really should.
Or they will or they won't.
They won't. So this guy's just gonna run up to the goblin. This guy's gonna try to stab a goblin. Probably not well because he's damaged.
You killed our fighter. I shall have my revenge. You have my
Ooh.
sword, my axe, and your fighter.
That is going to be 2 damage to you, Trevor.
No.
It takes a quarter day to raise a fighter.
The pain fades quick, don't worry.
Uh,
You'll only notice it for a minute or two, and then you lose consciousness. It's great.
Okay. So bad news is you don't have any armor.
Yeah.
Good news is though is you only used your slow action, so you have your fast action, and you can attempt to either parry or dodge.
I will go with dodge.
Okay. So that is a move roll.
Not just click on dodge?
You can just click on dodge. There is a -2 modifier if you want to remain on your feet. The default is you dive out of the way and end up prone. There's a -2 modifier if you want to stay on your feet.
No, I'll go prone.
Okay. All right. So you dodge out of the way, negating one of his successes and only taking 1 damage instead
And
of
where
2.
does that damage go to?
Strength.
I only have 2 strength.
It's a good thing you move partially then.
I guess so.
Right.
We're gonna die.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We thought the policemen yesterday were bad.
All right. Back around to Risen. Things are looking bad.
At least I didn't get stunned for 69 rounds.
Yet.
Yep.
I started singing the song about TPK. TPK. So I got a question about the ranges because I was looking at some of my talents and stuff. What's like near range, short range,
Okay.
medium,
Uh,
number of squares?
Yeah. Near is anything in the same zone as you.
Okay.
Short is any adjacent zone.
Okay.
Far is anything out to 4 zones.
Mhm.
Or sorry, long is anything out to short.
Long.
Yeah, long is 4 zones, and extreme is anything more than 4 zones.
Okay, so right now, if I wanted to do that that scathing word or whatever again, I might in range for that.
Yeah, I generally assume that's within short range.
Okay, then I would do that to the nearest bandit to me, or a bandit that looks like they're threatening somebody who's like badly injured.
Okay. Probably. Apparently, I don't have my ping module. We'll say that one.
Sorry, which one?
The one directly in front of you.
Okay.
So that is a manipulation roll from you.
Oh. There you are. Let's go 3.
So you got.
Oh,
Yeah, you probably don't want to push that. That would give you 2 damage to your empathy, and they got 2 successes. So you're like, that guy's a little bit. They're like riding the high of downing a fighter.
sorry. Is this like White Wolf, where ones take away from successes?
It isn't, but if you push that roll again, you'll take damage because you have 2 banes showing.
No, the reason I asked is I thought I saw some 5s, and I'm like, wasn't that a success?
No, it's only 6s.
Oh, okay.
Yep, only 6s.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you like yell at them, but they're not having
Fair
any
enough.
of this.
Right.
Did you want to move or anything, or?
I don't know. I don't know. Considering I don't like being close to people, I don't know unless there's an advantage to being closer to other bandits.
Not really.
Yeah. Yeah, I find this hand-to-hand combat distasteful. I'd rather stay at a distance and mock people and damage them that way if I can.
Perfect. All right, Trustius, it's up to you.
Okay, so middle bandit here is weak, I think.
Yes.
And fast, I should be able to get within arm's reach. Right?
Yep.
So I move here. I have 1 willpower, so I'll cast Chill the Grave.
Oh, okay.
And I don't have any of the stuff. Chill the Grave's level 1.
Yep.
And I'm level 2. Does safe casting help?
I don't think you can safe cast. I think safe casting has to be. That's a good question. Safe casting is you can spend 1 less willpower for every power or every level of difference. So you could spend 1 less willpower.
Would that make that 0?
No, you always have to spend at least 1.
I was going to say, yeah, because that would be kind of cool. All right, so I'll spend 1 willpower. I'll move up, Chill the Grave. Oh, and a mishap.
Ooh.
And I have a macro for it.
Oh, spell also affects a friend or other unintended victim. What's the range? The range
I don't
is.
know you. I've never met you before.
Arm's reach, but I want to hit Anita.
Put that poor girl out of misery.
So the good news is it does hit the bandit, killing him. But it also affects your little goblin buddy who's like within arm's reach of you as well for only 1 point of damage.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sadly-
No, that drops him. That's not fine.
Yeah, sadly, he's only got 1 health left. So you reach out and you like squeeze the heart of this bandit, and you feel it like explode in his chest, and then the goblin beside you clutches his chest and like keels over from a heart attack.
Oh, bother.
And
Oh, father?
Bother.
Yes. Yes. Channeling Eeyore.
Not that it matters anyway.
well, the good news is I mean, he does drop, but his horror. I'm gonna say it's probably a horror trauma. Renders him nocturnal, and he can only sleep during the day.
Which for the goblin is kind of correct. Okay.
Perfect. All right. But yeah, since it is getting like after 11 here. At least now you guys kind of see how combat goes.
Yep.
I was looking at healing
Badly.
Anita
Goes
with
badly.
That was deadly.
healing's end, but somehow it's not in my spell. It's in the book, but not in my spell.
Oh, I apparently did not add it to.
Healing's for losers.
Or
He's
people who
just a
want to
late
live.
healer.
There we go.
Just a very late healer.
Healer after. Well after the fact.
Pick them up after they're dead. It's fine.
I didn't get my medical license revoked for nothing.
Now the question is, are you going to do healing hands or are you going to mend wounds?
Men's wound heals for the injury, and healing hands heal for the damage.
Yep.
If I wanted to get Anita back, this is lava back in the fight, which one would I need?
You would need both. Like the healing hands will get her up and functional, but with that bleeding gut wound, every single time she makes a melee roll, she's going to take a point of damage.
Yeah, nice. Since I only have 2 willpower right now, I need to cast it at 1 willpower so I can cast the other one next time.
Okay.
So
All right. So that will heal 1 point of damage on Anita. So we'll say basically you lay it on your hands. Now that like magic's been used and everything, the bandits just fuck off, just so we don't have to continue the combat.
Because we have to go to bed.
Because we do have to go to bed. The
Because we're dying.
the big thing here, like if this was an actual fight, the big thing would be that Desislava needs medical attention within the next 3 hours, or she will die.
good try, my bend wound.
Yeah.
And heal.
Chris, does healing does it heal an attribute of your choice?
It depends on what he does.
Oh, okay.
Healing hands. Healing hands specify strength or agility because it's healing as opposed to counseling.
Okay.
Rolled well on the mend wounds, which is good.
I could heal up to a little injury.
Yeah, lethal injury requires 2 power levels. So just enough to stop that gut wound to get her back on her feet. Her sword is damaged. Her armor is wrecked. Bandits have fucked off. In terms of actual healing, once you get a good night's rest, your attribute points come back.
Oh, all of them?
All of them.
Oh. Okay.
Think of your attribute points as like, kind of like, like a little bit of a buffer. Critical injuries are the bad things. So as long as you get a quarter day's rest, you heal all your attributes. But in a nutshell, that's how combat is. As you can see, it can be
Dangerous.
dangerous.
Yeah,
Very.
we're gonna need some bows. Stay away from trouble.
You told me to take cook.
Perfect. All right.
The other option was armor, not bows, but we kind of need both.
You do. So we will pick up next week with our first actual session. I will make sure to reset everybody's character sheet to non-wounded, non-damaged gear status.
Thank you.
And next week we will start the exploration of the island.
Looking
Cool.
forward to it. Thanks.
I'm gonna be
Perfect.
dead.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys, and we will see people next week, or
Good night, guys.
tomorrow,
See-
or other days for
Or
you.
Saturday for Star Trek, or yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah.